Hello students, welcome back to the video lecture series of Database Management System. So today's topic is ER model basics. In this topic we will discuss some basics like entities, entity types, what are the attributes, what are the attribute types, what is key and what is key attribute, what is relationship in ER diagram, and we will also discuss some example for ER diagram. So let's move forward. So ER modeling basically entity relationship modeling is a top-down approach. Top-down approach is the basic approach in which first we view complete system and then we will design it with the help of some basic objects. Okay. So ER modeling is a design method which works on a conceptual level. So it works on the logical level, which works on conceptual level based on perception of the real world. So whenever you are going to design a ER diagram, first you need to perceive the world, after that you had to design it. Okay. It is a graphical technique for understanding and organizing the data independent of the actual database implementation. So we are not aware about the basic implementation of database. We just need to bother about how to represent the real world entities, real world objects. Okay. So whenever we are designing this particular ER model, which is also known as ER diagram, it will be just like a graphical representation. We need to understand that particular representation and we will organize the data with the help of that. As you can see, here we can see a diagram. Here we are having no knowledge about what is this block and what is this diamond shape and what is this ellipse. So for this we first need to focus, whenever a non-technical man, or we can say a layman comes, and if he or she wants to perceive it or understand it, he or she can also understand it. Like there is some student and student is having some name, some major, some address, and that student is enrolled in some course, and that particular course is being taught in some section, and some teacher is being taught teaching that particular course. So any non-technical man or woman can understand it and understand it easily. But being a technical person, we need to know what is this block, what is this diamond shape, and what is this ellipse. So this block is known as entity, this ellipse is known as attribute, and this diamond shape is known as relationship. So we will discuss it later. So this particular example shows that in ER diagram, three basic important objects are: first one is entity, second one is attribute, or we can see this relationship. As we can see, there is a relationship between these two entities, and entities are having some attributes. So let's move forward for some basics like what is entity. So whenever we are talking about entities, entities are real world object. So these are anything that may have an independent existence in this world. So anything which can describe something, we can say in simple word a noun, that is known as entity in database, and distinct from the other entity. Every entity should be distinct from every other entity, so that anyone can understand what is the difference between these two entities. Okay. So entities are basically distinct from other entity. So we can see here some example of entities like customer is an entity, accounts is an entity, trainee is an entity, and student is also an entity. Here we can see here student, every student is different for other students. So we need to have some properties of student which basically distinguish between these two any two types of students. Like if you are in a class of BTech, then there can be some student who is in second year, there can be some student who is in third year. So we should be able to distinguish between these two students. Attribute, we can distinguish between these entities with the help of these attributes. Attributes are basically characteristics or properties of the entities. So here we can see for a student, we can have different attribute, like every student can have different name, every student can have different date of birth, address, father's name, phone number. So these are the attributes which describe the particular student. Third one is relationship. So what is relationship? Every entity has association with some other entities, and this association will be done with the help of relationship. Like you can see here an example, account A101 is held by customer Johnson. So that means that particular account is being held by a customer, and that account number is being associated with that particular customer only. So no other customer can have same account number. Okay. So here we can see these are the representation of these basic objects of ER modeling. So we are having these entities can be represented with the help of this rectangle, attributes are being represented with the help of ellipse, and relationships are being represented with the help of diamond shape. So first we need to discuss what is entity and what is entity set. So there is a very minor difference between these two things which needs to be clear to us. So first we will discuss what is entity. As we have already know, entity is what? A real world object which is different from other object. Okay, like we are having customers, so every customer is a different entity, and customers is an entity set. I can say with the help of a definition, a collection of similar type of entities are known as entity set. Like different type of students are making an entity set, that is student set, students entity set. A collection of similar type of object is known as set. In the same way, collection of similar type of entities are known as entity set. So whenever we are talking about entity student entity set, that means we are having a collection of different student, and everyone is having some common properties. Like whenever we are talking about student entity set, that means every person which is a student is studying in some college or in some class. Okay, whenever we are talking about customers entity set, customer entity set is the collection of different customer entities. Attributes. Attributes means properties or characteristics of the entities or relationship. Every entity or relationship can have some properties, those are known as attributes. Set of possible value for an attribute is called the domain of the attribute. So what is the domain of the attribute? Domain means every attribute can have some possible values for that, and those set of possible values are known as domain of that particular attribute. So domain of attribute, marital status, whenever I ask you what is your marital status, you can answer like you are single, you are married, you are divorced, or you are widow. In that way we can have 4 possible values for this particular attribute which is marital status. So in the same way, marital status is having the domain of 4 possible values. So this is the domain, you cannot answer except all these values. The domain of the attribute month is a 12 values ranging from January to December. So whenever I am asking what is your birthday month, so whenever you are answering to me, you can answer me from January to December. So the domain of this particular attribute is from these 12 values. So let's discuss what are the various attribute types. So first one is simple attribute. Simple attribute are those attributes which cannot be divided further. Like we are having gender of the employee. So whenever I ask you what is your gender, you can reply in male or female. That means this particular value cannot be further divided. So these type of attributes are known as simple attribute. Next one is composite attribute. Composite attributes are those attributes which can be divided further. Like whenever I ask you what is your address, it can have different components of answer like street number, your city, and your state. So that means a particular attribute which can have different components which can be further divided, that is known as composite attribute. Single values attribute. Single values attribute are those attribute which is only having a single value for its answer. Like whenever I ask you what is your age, that means your age can only have a single answer, that cannot have 2 or multiple values. Multi-valued attribute, as the name suggests, which the attribute which is having more than 1 values for it, that is known as multi-valued attribute. Whenever I ask you what is your phone number, so that can have a different value, you can have 2 or 3 phone numbers. So that is what multi-valued attribute. And one more example is skill set of the employee. Every employee can have various skills associated with that employee. I can ask you how many languages you know, so that is also a multi-valued attribute, you can answer in multiple values. Next one is stored attribute. Stored attribute are those attribute which can be stored in the database permanently. That is known as stored attribute. Like when I ask you what is your date of joining, and I can store in the database that particular information, that this is your date of joining in the organization. So that is the stored attribute. And the derived attribute is the attribute which can be derived with this stored attribute information. So if I know the date of joining, then I can calculate the experience of the employee. So this particular attribute which can be derived from the other stored attribute is known as derived attribute. So the experience here can be derived from the date of joining. So this experience is known as derived attribute. So next one is example of composite attribute. So here we can see employee is the entity, as I already discussed, and employee can have different attributes. Like employee can have this employee ID, which is being represented with the help of e hash. Employee can have its name, employee can have date of birth, employee can have some designation, employee can have some address. Okay, so this address is the composite attribute because this address can be further divided into different components. So here it is being divided into the floor and the building. So this address attribute is the composite attribute. So this is represented by an ellipse from which other ellipses are emanate and represent the component attribute. For example, address. So what is key attribute? This is very important. A group of one or more attributes that uniquely identify an entity in the entity set. As I said you before, every entity set will have the combination of similar type of entities, but every entity is different from other entities. So whenever we are having a set of similar type of entities, from that set, if I want to distinguish from one entity from the another entity, so this key attribute, which is the very unique attribute, will help me to uniquely identify one entity from other entity. That means this key attribute will be able to distinguish one employee or one student from that student group, or one employee from that employee group or employee set. That is the attribute that is unique for every entity instance. So that particular attribute which is unique for every entity instance will be known as key attribute. It can have the set of attribute. Example, the account number of an account. Like bank can have many accounts, but for a single account, the account number will be different from the other account. The employee ID of the particular employee will be different from the employee ID of other employee. No two employee can have same employee ID. In the same way, no two account can have the same account number. So here we can see different notations of attribute. This one is simple attribute, which is being represented with the help of single ellipse. This is primary key or key attribute, which is being represented with the help of single ellipse and this underline. So whenever you are representing key attribute, you need to have this underline. Multi-valued attribute is being represented with the help of this double ellipse shape. Derived attribute will be represented with the help of this dashed oval shape or ellipse shape. Composite attribute will have these different ellipses which has been generated from this ellipse. So this composite attribute is having this notation for its component. So let's have this example. We are having here a entity which is known as customer entity, and this customer entity is having a key attribute customer ID. This customer ID will distinguish for one customer from the other customer from the customer entity set. Here we are having this multi-valued phone number. Every customer can have more than one phone number. This other attribute is date of birth of the customer. This is the age of the customer. Here we can see date of birth is the stored attribute, and this is the age is the derived attribute, which can be derived from this date of birth attribute. Every customer is having some name. This is the composite attribute, which can be further divided with the help of first name, middle name and the last name. This customer attribute is also having some address, and this address is further divided into street, city, state and zip code. You can represent it with the help of double ellipse as well. As I already discussed, composite attribute can be represented with the help of double oval shape. Street is the other attribute, other part component of the address attribute. This street attribute can be further divided into street number, street name, and apartment number. So this is the simple example which is just representing customer entity and its different attributes. So now let's discuss entity types. So there are two types of entity types. The first one is regular entity. Entities that has its own key attribute or attributes. So those entities which are having one or more than one attribute which can be which can differentiate a particular entity from the other entity in the entity set is known as regular entity. So every regular entity or strong entity will have a key attribute, at least one key attribute which can uniquely identify one entity from the another entity. Okay, let's have some example like employee. Every employee will have employee ID. In student entity set, every student will have unique student roll number. In customer entity set, every customer will have customer ID. In policy holder entity set, every policy holder will have unique ID which can uniquely identify one policy holder from the another policy holder. Next one is weak entity. So what is weak entity? Every entity which is dependent on some other strong or regular entity is known as weak entity. Like entity that depends on other entity for its existence and doesn't have key attribute of its own. So weak entity don't have its own key attribute. So let's take an example, spouse of the employee. So spouse of the employee is the weak entity because this particular entity doesn't have a key attribute which can uniquely identify one spouse from the other spouse for the different employee. So this spouse entity is dependent of that particular employee whose spouse is this particular person. So we need to have a strong entity to uniquely identify some weak entity. So this weak entity will not have its key attribute, it will be dependent upon the regular entity. So we will discuss how we can represent it. So now discuss what is relationship and what is relationship set. Association among two or more entities, that is any entity can be related to other entity via relationship. So two entities can be related to other entity with the help of some relationship. Example, a supplier may supply some part. So here we can see the relation between the supplier and the part, and the relationship is supply. So that particular part is being supplied by a supplier. So here we can see we are having two entities like supplier and other entity is the part, and there is a relationship between these two entities which is the supply. So here what is relationship set? Every different entity set will have a different entity sets will have a relationship. So here we can see supplier is an entity set and part is an entity set, and these two entity sets are connected with a relation which is supply. So here we can see entity sets are connected with a relationship. This is basically a relationship set, and we can see the mapping between different entities within these entity sets. Like whenever I say a student student entity set is being taught by teacher entity set, that means there are number of students which is being taught by different number of teachers. Okay, so whenever we are taking just one relationship between a teacher and the student, this is a relationship. But whenever we are talking about one set is connected to another set, so this describes a relationship set. So in simple word, we are not usually using the word relationship set, we just use the word relationship, but by default it is a relationship set because there is a relationship between one entity set and others entity set. So here we can see there are various relations which can have attributes of its own. Here we can see one of the example. The doctor is the entity, patient is an entity, medicine is entity, and here we can see the relationship between the doctor and the patient and medicine. Doctor is prescribing some medicine to the patient, and this prescription is having some attribute like it will also have some number of doses which need to give to the patient. It can have number of days, how many days a patient need to take those medicines. So this is simple example how a relationship can have different attributes. So these attributes best describe the relationship prescription rather than any individual entity, doctor, patient and medicine. So here we can simply understand every relationship can have different attribute as well, like entities. So next question is, what is identifying relationship? It is usually being asked in the examination, what is identifying relationship? So identifying relationship is basically a relationship which exists between the strong entity and weak entity set. So here we can see employee is the entity set, and here we can see dependent. The dependent of this employee is also a entity set, but this entity set is the weak entity set, and this employee entity set is the strong entity set. This employee entity set is having the attribute of employee ID. With the help of that, you can distinguish between different employees, and these employees has some dependent. Here we can see some numbers written over there. We will discuss in next lecture what does it mean. So we are having some employees are having some dependent, and these dependent are in double rectangle, which I have already told you that represent the weak entity set, and this weak entity set doesn't have some key attribute. So this dependent can only uniquely identify with the help of key attribute of the strong entity set. So every weak entity set is being uniquely identified with the help of the key attribute of that particular strong entity set on which the weak entity is dependent, and there we can only consider some of its attribute as a key attribute, which can work as a key attribute, but which is not actually a key attribute of that weak entity set. So here ID can work as a key attribute for this dependent, but for actual, what is the basically key attribute for this dependent? It will be the combination of the key attribute of the strong entity set and this any one of the attribute of the weak entity set, which can work as a key attribute. So this dependent entity set will have two attribute as a key attribute, like this employee ID and this ID. So we are considering this ID as which can work as a key attribute for this dependent in combination with this employee ID, and we will represent it with the help of these dotted. Okay, so this dependent will also have some name. So we can see here this weak entity set can have some different attributes. Okay, so what is identifying relationship? Every relationship which is representing the relationship between the strong entity set and the weak entity set is known as identifying relationship. So identifying relationship is the one which relates the weak entity with the strong entity on which it depends. So let's have some example for this ER model. We are having this bank information system. Here we can see we are having some customer. That customer is having some ID. This is the key attribute because every customer can uniquely identify with the help of this ID. Every customer will have some name, some street and city information. Customer are depositor in some account for some account, and this depositor relationship will have some access date for that account. So every customer can be the depositor of some account, and this will have some access date, and every account will have some attribute like account number. Account number is a key attribute for the account entity, so we can uniquely identify different accounts with the help of this account number, and the key attribute are being represented with the help of underline, and this account will also have some balance in that particular account. So this represents a simple ER diagram for bank information system. So let's have some other example, which is online bookshop example. Here we are having some entities like book, author, publisher. We are having entity a customer, shopping basket, warehouse. So let's start with book. So in this online bookshop we are having books, and every book have a key attribute which is ISBN number, which is associated with different books, and every book will have a different unique ISBN number. So key attribute is being represented with the help of underline. That's why ISBN is having some underline. And we are having other attribute of book like price of the book, title of the book, year of the book, where whenever it is being published, and this book is written by some author, and that author is having some unique things like unique attribute like name and address of the author and URL for the website of that author. That book is published by some publisher, and that publisher is a publisher is a attribute entity set, sorry, that publisher is the entity set, and that publisher will have attribute key attribute which is name of the publisher, and other attributes like address, phone number, and URL address of that publisher. That book contains shopping basket. That book contains shopping basket, but that contains represent the number of books that is being that is present in that shopping basket, and every basket which is associated with any customer will have a basket ID. And that shopping basket is basket of a customer, and that customer will have the name of the customer as an attribute, address, email address, and phone number as the attribute of that customer. Here, that email address of that customer is the key attribute for that customer. Okay, that book is having stocks, and that stock will came from some warehouse, and this stock, how many number of books are available in the stock, that is represented with the help of attribute of this relationship with the help of number attribute. And this warehouse will have some attribute as well, like code is the unique attribute for this warehouse. Other attributes are address and phone number. So in this way we can represent shop information, or we can say any database representation we can done with the help of ER modeling, just to understand the view, or just to take the perception of real world, how we will design our database and how it will look like. So ER modeling helps us a bit for this. So thank you so much for your patience, and keep connecting.